This is a masterclass on the easiest way to mask things without the Roto brush tool. It's all super easy and everyone can thank me later. This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Now let's get right into it. So I recently made a video for Insta360 where I wanted to transition this scene into this scene. The way I did that was I slowly faded in the snow from the second scene below the mountain. So you can see here as the sledder comes into the scene, the snow from that shot is slowly coming out of the back of it. And then by the time the transition happens, you don't even realize that all the snow from the first scene had disappeared. Now, if I wanted to mask or use the Roto brush, this is what that would look like. Can you imagine masking out these mountains? So the first keen trick I'm going to show you is the effect extract. So if we go to our effects and presets panel and type in extract and put that on top of this mountain layer, you'll see at the top we got this little bar. We're going to grab the bar at the very right, the brightest pixels of this image. We're going to drag it to the left. And what you can see is happening is it's getting rid of all the brightest pixels in the scene. And this scene in particular was perfect because it was snow on the ground. So it literally perfectly keyed out the snow. And let me be very clear, these tricks don't completely avoid the busy work. It just makes the busy work that you have to do way easier. So for example, now you see that there's all these gaps inside the mountain. I'll just create a mask around where those holes are and fill up the hole after the fact. In this situation, you're picking and choosing your battles. Do you want to rotoscope this mountain out, or do you want to use an easy, simple garbage mat to fill in the holes that are left after using extract? And so now, if you look here beautifully, I can put in the background of this scene underneath this mountain, and it looks incredible. Now, I'll use this same exact clip to showcase a second masking thing, which is color key. So the extract didn't get rid of the sky, which is super blue. So in the effects and presets panel, I'm gonna type in color key and I'm gonna select the blues in the background. I'm gonna crank up the tolerance until it starts affecting pixels of part of the image I want. I'm gonna duplicate that color key and I'm gonna select the color that hasn't gone away. And I'm gonna rinse and repeat this process of color keys until I've gotten the most of the background keyed out. So a sequence of color keys can basically completely mask out your background. Now let's pause for a second and acknowledge how extreme the edges are in these situations. After I used extract to get rid of the bottom of the mountain, and after I used color key to get rid of all this, you see all these little artifacts on the edges of your key. There's an effect that just fixes this entirely. It's called matte choker. So if you go to effects and presets and click on a matte choker and apply it to your mask, it gets rid of all the artifacts. And if we go over and play with our choke and softness, eventually you can get a look that is really great. Also, what's nice about using the color key is if we didn't want to get rid of the snow and we just wanted to get rid of the sky, this is the perfect scene where you can use color key to just get rid of the sky while it doesn't affect the rest of your image. Now, the third and my personal favorite of these supercharged plugins that help you with masking is color range. This is essentially color key on steroids. Instead of selecting one color to get rid of, it can select every color in the color rainbow, and you can manually adjust each hue. So where this came in handy for me is, here's an example. I did this video for Adobe where I'm doing like a live action breakdown of a Photoshop animation. And I have like the computer UI popping up behind me. But the background isn't really good enough for an extract or a color key because it's all different colors and different texture. So if we go to our effects and presets and type in color range and we click on the background, let's click on one of these like yellowy pixels. You can see it gets rid of all these pixels. Now I'll use the color picker again to click on another color I want to get rid of, which is like this kind of dark brown. Now, if you go over to your effect controls, you'll see all these number options, and these are basically the key amounts for every hue. So go through each number until the thing you want masked out is the most keyed out. Now, you're probably thinking, holy cow, these edges and these artifacts. Don't worry. Go back to your effects and presets panel and throw on a matte choker. Now, keep playing with your color range. Adjust the settings on the matte choker to be a little soft, and then keep animating with your color range. This is a way to get some super clean edges on your masking without using Roto brush. So if you're gonna leave with anything in your head from this video, the combination of color range and a matte choker is probably one of the best ways to key out or mask without using the pen tool or the rotoscope brush. I'm just gonna blast through a few examples really quick to just hammer in all my points. Here's me using extract to get an isolated key of just the trees because I wanted to slowly fade in a new ground to this scene. And obviously, because this is a snowscape, using extract is the one that we want to use because it only affects bright pixels. And in the opposite sense with extract, this scene in my Insta360 video where all the snow hits the camera, I'm actually sliding up the dark side to get rid of all the darkest parts of the image to be left with all this snowy texture that I can then apply on top of the rest of the scene. And I'm using extract on so many different scenes to get great keys. And those are my masking superpower tricks. My roommate taught me the color range thing earlier this year, and it's literally changed my life. When I get projects, I like use all of these feverishly before I even touch the pen tool or the Roto brush. It's like one of the first steps in my whole editing flow is to see how much I can actually key out without masking. So get that into your head and put that in your workflow when you're editing. It will end up saving you a ton of time. All right, I hope this changes your life like this changed mine when I started using these techniques. If you have any questions about these tricks, comment them in the section below or message me on Instagram. I'm very responsive over there. All right, and it's time to thank today's sponsor, Squarespace. From online stores and marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is an all-in-one platform. Let's say you want to be an incredible business person like me. Squarespace will set you up for all the success in the world. First of all, you can create custom merch all through them. They will help you with the designs. They handle the shipping and the inventory. So all you got to do is show up with a good idea and they'll help you execute physical products that'll help you connect with your audience. But what if you actually already make stuff and you want to sell stuff? Squarespace has you covered. They've got retail online stores that you can build. So if you sell jewelry, maybe furniture, you can list this stuff on Squarespace and you have an amazing retail website. Okay, but what about my content creators and influencers out there? Maybe you don't have like furniture that you're building that you want to sell. In member areas on Squarespace, you can upload exclusive bonus content that you're not posting anywhere else. You can drive traffic to your website and make profit by monetizing memberships to exclusive content they could only see on your Squarespace website. So become a business person with Squarespace. Create custom merch, sell retail items, or make money through monthly subscriptions to your bonus content. It's incredible. The options are endless. Best part is I got you hooked up with a discount code. So if you go to squarespace.com/willcarmack, you'll get 10% off your first website or domain. Thank you for sponsoring this video, Squarespace. I hope everyone learned something today, and where there's a will, there's a way. My name is Will, and have a nice day.